Good morning, my name is Debo Onifade. I'm the author of Liberating Nigeria, a guide to winning elections and reviving our country, forward by Femi Falana, SAN. I would like to talk today about priorities for the incoming governors. I've written about this, many articles on national newspapers. I've put in my book. Priorities. Nigeria will always, like other countries, Nigeria will always have limited resources. So I think the first things governors need to learn is, how do I prioritize? Of course, I'm a pro-people person. I believe salaries should be number one. Of course, you should never owe salaries. But it's also good to talk about roads today. Now, I love Nyesom Wike, for example. I think it's I love his comedy. I love watching him. I love his dance steps. I love the fact that he means what he says. I don't want to talk about his negative parts today, but when I hear him say flyover 1, flyover 2, flyover 3, flyover 4, flyover 5, flyover 6, maybe 17 or 18 flyovers, and I cry within me. Why should we celebrate flyovers? Why are governors in Nigeria crazy about flyovers? Why? In many cases, these flyovers do not contribute anything to the economic development of those states. Why do we celebrate flyovers? How do you measure the economic impact of flyovers? Today, I'd like to remind the governors, health, education, human capital development should always be top on your list. Because Nigeria's greatest asset is our human resources, human capital, not oil. We have over 200 million people. If we don't turn these people into to highly productive industry as a people, like turn them as a group into a big section of the economy, we'll continue to fool ourselves. We need to educate our people. Why is Southwest developed? Have you wondered why Southwest developed is very developed compared to, sorry to say, South or North? It's education. Now, of course, the leaders have hurt South a lot. Everybody has hurt South. I think they have every right to complain. We take their money, and we have not helped them enough. But I think their local leaders are also responsible. It's not just national leaders. The 13% derivation, every extra income that has gone to South has not been productive. Most of these monies have been stolen. But one thing that helped South from our lower time is education. So if you do not, and now education is going down in Nigeria, if you do not educate the people, no matter all the flyovers, if you do not provide good health care, affordable health care to the people, our greatest asset, human capital, will continue to suffer. I talked about Ogun State, which is my home state. That state has had only one general hospital in Abeokuta for the past 40, 50 years. You can see Lagos having multiple multiple new hospitals. All the state governors want to do is to build roads, build flyovers. Very little development in the area of education and healthcare. So I want to encourage our incoming governors today. Think about the human capital first. Education, healthcare. When your people are properly educated and taken care of, they can do a lot. Now, of course, I'm not talking about only education, only high school, university education, but also educating them for the emerging market. Now, I'm talking about providing them with resources that can help them find jobs from other countries. Now, I'm not talking about helping them to relocate, but it is very clear that Nigeria locally, we don't have enough local jobs to provide employment to provide adequate employment in Nigeria. We need to have Nigerians in Nigeria working for companies abroad to improve employment in Nigeria. We have to facilitate, make sure that Nigerians can get local jobs in Nigeria, but they can also get foreign jobs while they do these jobs in Nigeria. Because there are many countries in the world where they don't have enough talent. They don't have enough people to deliver their work requirements. That's why India today, they're not just the most populous country today, but they continue to provide the highest amount of people resources to the world. Indian people are like they are more valuable than oil. They're more valuable than resource than the regular resources like gold, oil. They are people. Now you have an Indian, you have Indians taking over a lot of positions, and I'm not really talking about those big positions, but in so many areas, call center, software development, medicine, and many of them are doing these jobs in their country. Same as China. Why is China the #1 export country in the world? It's because of their people. Of course, they have built infrastructure, but they've also trained their people enough to be able to use the infrastructure to manufacture things quickly. South Korea is their people. Their people are well trained, very smart, and they can. As a matter of fact, South Africa I wrote an article recently. South Korea can manufacture weapons faster than almost any other country in the world. People and, of course, machines. So we have to train our people. We have 200 million of them. We have to make sure they're educated. We have to provide healthcare. We have to make sure they are trained. Because even in Nigeria locally, companies say that, oh, a lot of graduates are not well equipped to work. I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Why? Because we're not training them. Even little skills like blue collar jobs like Tyler. Now people are bringing Tylers from Togo. Bricklayers. People are bringing bricklayers from Benin Republic. Carpenters. I'm hearing about Togolese auto mechanics in Nigeria, because we don't train our people. So I think the governors need to understand that education is #1, and formal and informal. I think healthcare is #2. That's my opinion. Let's limit all these flyovers. And the second one is these airports the governors have become crazy about. Why are you building airports in a state that doesn't require an airport? Why? To build an airport, you have to, if you want to build helipads, like, allow helicopters and co to be able to land, that's fine for the rich guys. That doesn't cost much. But why do you have to build an airport for big aircraft when this is just waste of money? Just because you want to steal money doesn't mean that you have to think less of the people. If you still want to steal, I think you can still steal some money while you're providing good healthcare, good education. You're not going to be able to steal a lot. But why do you have to think about wasting scarce resources on airports? For what? Maintaining the airports, setting up the airports, maintaining the airports. Everything around airports is extremely expensive. You have to think about economic viability. A state like Akwa Ibom can justify spending money on airports because they set up an airline that is doing well, and that airline is helping the entire region. So people that want to travel by road from Akwa Ibom to other states in south, south, southeast are flying to Akwa Ibom. But guess what? That state has built an airline that hopefully will become profitable. I don't know if they're profitable yet, to support that infrastructure. And it makes sense because they also help people to move to other states around them. So a few states can justify it. But I don't want to mention some states now that are spending so much money on airports. So for me, I think it's a waste of money. Let's stop that. Let's reduce how much we spend on aircraft. I mean on flyovers. That's what it's called in Nigeria, flyovers. Let's stop celebrating flyovers as if it's a trophy. What is in flyover? Okay, sometimes you see flyovers in a location without traffic. Why? So I think governors need to prioritize. I think that's the summary of my point. I think if they don't know how to prioritize, they need to talk to the people. They should do some polling, ask people what do you. As a matter of some people don't even know actually though. But I think clearly education helps. This is what helped Southwest to develop, and of course Southeast. And now you have many northern states also pushing. And no doubt about it, if we educate our people, the state will be better. Till I come your way again next time, I wish you a happy week.